Today's video is going to be a story time and probably the first of its kind on my channel, where I'll be sharing my experience with decision making until I reached college, or probably until this particular day. So yes, I really hope you learned something from it, and please do let me know if you want more videos like this if it helps. Now let's trace all the way back to 10th grade, and obviously to reach the place I am right now, the most important decision I should have taken in 10th grade was deciding my stream. And I was pretty sure that I needed to go to science. There was never this dilemma of science and commerce, but if you do have that dilemma, you should actually find out what you want to do and then choose, because I've seen so many people who went into science and then shifted to commerce, who went into commerce and shifted into science, which is going to cause a lot of problem to you at the end. So right before 10th grade, please try to decide what you want to do, not only science and commerce, because that's the main thing in CBSE, but any stream you want to go to, humanities, arts, anything. So well, science was pretty clear for me. But now the most important decision I had to make was PCB or PCM. Well, I was a bright student in biology, but in maths, I scored well, but I had to put a lot of efforts, and I didn't really like maths as much. But I ended up taking PCMB. That is because I was confused, because if I took PCB, I would have restricted my options to medicine and medicine-related fields. But if I took maths too, then that increases the range of options available for me into like bounds and bounds, and that is why I felt it was important to take maths. But if you feel that you're completely sure that you do not want bio and you're completely sure that you do not want maths, then just go for PCB or PCM, because well, PCMB is hard, I cannot deny that. And the most important rule to decision making is considering all your options. Do not think that since you're in a household where doctor and engineer are the only things that people talk about, because there is literally anything you can do in this world to earn a bread. So yes, explore your options, because that is very, very important, and according to your interest, go for it. I always believe the hierarchy of decision making should be upar se niche. Suppose I know that I want to do something in the science field, and that is why I'm taking science in 11th. Hence, I am taking science as a foundation for what I want to become in the future. So it is important that you have a little bit of visualization, what you want to do and where your interest lies in. Okay, the next decision was whether or not to go to coaching. We had an option of integrated Fiji coaching in our school, in which the teachers were different. We didn't have to go to a separate coaching center or something. But I wasn't ready for it because of the rumors I had heard of Fiji about the study pressure, this, that. I did not want to be a coaching child. But I ended up going for it because my mom's like, just go for it. If you don't like it, just come back in a week. I went for it, and well, I realized that it was better than, not doing anything at all. Again, here I was exploring my options, because if I did not have taken Fiji, I would have not known about the competition or what lies when you actually go through coaching. Fiji just enabled me to go into the competitive exam world, which I wasn't really sure of at that point. So I'm like, why not? If it's just increasing my knowledge, then let's just go for it. I did have Fiji for PCM, but in mid-11th, I was like, why am I focusing on PCM? Because I obviously knew my interest lies in biology. So that's when I'm like, I should probably also keep my other option open of medical and writing NEET exam. So that's when I went to a teacher who taught the NEET part of biology, and that was the other decision I made, and by far the best decision I made, because that is when I realized that biology can be fun, because the way she taught me made me realize that there is more to biology than just ratta marufying or the theory of it. And after this entire coaching and tuition fiasco was done, the next decision that I had to make was about SAT and international exams. My dad had been telling me about SAT since 8th grade, but I was like, मैं तो India में ही पढ़ूंगी. Why do I want to go outside? Why should I burden myself with, extra applications? But then I realized that NEET is not a joke. I'm not just going to get college admission in India by the way I was studying in 11th grade. So I thought I should probably write SAT and secure international admissions as a backup. I did not go for any kind of training for these international exams because अंदर ही अंदर I was really angry at them for some reason. Like, तुम मेरे NEET का time निकाल रहे हो, why should I even study for you? But I studied for them. I studied how much ever I can for these international exams. I gave them, and after 11th, I was just sitting there with all these exam results in my hand, and I wasn't even reading for NEET as in the way we're supposed to read. And that's when I'm like, what am I doing? I should probably make a decision. So the most important part of my 11th and 12th came at that time, which was my 12th grade summer vacation. That is when I went to this educational counselor, and everyone kept telling me that agar tumhe India mein NEET ke through, if you don't get an admission, then you should probably do neurosciences in US. And people told me that. I did not think of it myself. I always knew my interest lied in brain and neurology, etc. But people just told me that you should do neurosciences. So mere dimag mein lag gaya ki I should do neurosciences. So I went and told the educational counselor that, well, I want to do neurosciences, so please show me colleges for the same. And that's when I realized that no, I don't want to do neurosciences because बहुत अजीब लग रहा था बोलते हुए. And that's when I realized that मुझे डॉक्टर बनना है. I do not want to be anything other than a doctor, and I want to finish MBBS. I finished my applications and everything for international colleges, US, UK, Singapore, etc., etc. I was also reading for NEET simultaneously, and 12th grade as a whole was very, very productive for me. And I somehow went and wrote KVPY to keep my other option open. I really took the keep your options open wala part very, very seriously. And let us talk about post-12th. I was done with boards. I got in to many colleges in US and UK. I was pretty confident with NEET, and everything seemed to be going well. I don't know, I did not like this phase of 2020. That was the time when I had to make a decision, and I was a bad decision maker. That's what I realized at that point, because until then I was making all the right decisions, everything was going well, but at this point I'm like, ye mera future hai, and I need to decide my entire future. That was a lot of pressure, but with the help of everyone around me, I did make a few harsh decisions. Let us talk about them. So at that time, I accepted my admission order to UC Berkeley, and I got in there. And well, that was very overwhelming for me because it's the best university I could think of, best public university in USA. And that was also the time when people were going about this NEET postpone JEE NEET, this, that. The situation was such that I had to choose between Berkeley or NEET. That is because I had to travel for NEET and Berkeley classes were starting then. People did not agree to put the NEET center in the place I reside. There was a lot of commotion, and I had to decide either I go to US or I write NEET. But at that time I realized that I've been studying for NEET for 2 years. I wasn't even interested in US in the first place. But that wasn't a valid reason. I was just being emotional. So then came the part when I had to do the proper decision making. I tried to figure out what my actual goal was. My goal was to become a doctor, and at that time I wanted to become a doctor as soon as possible. I wanted to be a proper clinical practicing doctor. And I realized that if I go to US, it's going to take about 8-9 years, and I'm not ready for that. But instead, if I go to India, I'm going back to my home country, which I've been wanting to since a long time. India has good medical education, it costs less, and well, I finished MBBS in a lesser amount of time. Those were my only basis of, making my decision. But honestly, you have to consider a few more things, which is which of the decision you make will help you improve your potential, which of your decision is more realistic, etc., etc., which I failed to consider at that point, and I ended up going for NEET, which I wasn't even sure that I will get marks. I just kept a backup university of University of Illinois, Chicago, and I was confident that mera NEET nahi aane wala, so I'll end up going to UIC. But fortunately, NEET ho gaya, and I couldn't believe myself. I realized that, okay, I will get a college in India, so I can give up on US, UK, everything else. I'm getting what I wanted. I'm getting early undergrad degree. I'm getting it in a lesser expense, and I'm able to do my education from India. So everything was set at that point, and then came the other major decision: which college in India. And this, well, was my proudest decision. Even if I felt a bit of guilt कि I let go of Berkeley, everything became alright once I decided the perfect college for myself in India. Because then I had learned to consider other factors like which is going to develop my potential, which is the place where I can grow more, which is the place where I can actually achieve what I want to do. And at this point, I was sure that मुझे नहीं बनना a 9 to 5 doctor. I want to do something on the bigger scale. I want to go into research. I want to do something in the field of science, technology, etc., etc. Based on that, I made my college decision. I could have gotten any other government college, as people consider government colleges, getting a government college the topmost thing. But well, no. I instead opted for the college that I felt will be perfect for me. I opted for a college that was top 10 in India. I opted for a college that gave me resources for research, which gave me the perfect infrastructure and everything that I needed to excel in what I want to do. So considering all those options and ignoring societal norms, I went for KMC Manipal. And that is the best decision I've made, at least until now, looking at how the classes have been going. So yes, this was my journey with decision making until this point in life. So let us talk about what your takeaways from this video will be. Number one is to completely ignore what others want. You don't want to become a doctor or engineer, do not become a doctor or engineer. And this was when I let go of Berkeley. Literally everyone around me was like, "Tumne Berkeley ko jaane diya, you let go of the opportunity to study in US." But bhai, it's my decision. I let it go, right? So I will suffer the consequences. Honestly, do it for yourself. Make your decision for yourself. Also consider other factors like your parents and their opinions too. But majorly, it has to be your decision. And do not worry if anyone says anything to you about your decision, because only you are accountable for it, nobody else. I really don't know how much of a help this video has been to you, but if it actually helped you think beyond or change your perspective about anything, then I'm really, really glad. Also, yes, I know my hair is straight. It's gonna get back to curly, don't worry. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll get back to you with better and better content as frequently as possible since college has started. So yes, I am focusing on my primary goal, which is definitely not YouTube. So do drop in whatever suggestions you have, and I will try making videos on them. Thank you.